Hello and welcome to this video for question and answers on questions to do with square numbers and cube numbers. In this video I'm going to be answering 10 practice questions and 10 scenario based questions of things you might find in your GCSE, all to do with square numbers and cube numbers. So let's get started. So here we go, we've got question 1 here, and this question says write down all the square numbers between 10 and 50. So these questions all rely on you knowing your square numbers. So the first one is the result of 4 squared, which is going to be 16. Then we have the result of 5 squared, which is 25. Then we've got the result of 6 squared, which is 36. And then we've got the result of 7 squared, which is 49. Okay, question 2 goes, what is the largest square number under 100? Okay, so, well, 100 is 10 squared, so that is ruled out. So the next one down is going to be 9 squared, and 9 squared is 9 times 9 is 81. So 81 will be the largest square number under 100. Okay, right, let's have a look at this next question here. So this question here is question 3, which says, find 2 square numbers with a difference of 5. Okay, this is a bit of a challenge. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write down the square numbers that I know and see if I can see any of them with a difference of 5. So the first square number is 1, then we have 4, then we have 9. Okay, I've spotted it. 9 take away 4 equals 5. So the 2 square numbers that they're after are 4 and 9. Here we go. Right, question 4 is find 2 square numbers which add together to make another square number. So again, I'm just going to write down some numbers, some of the square numbers, and see if I can spot any that add together to make another square number. So we've got 1, 4, 9, 16. Right, I've spotted it. It's the next number, which is 25. But 9 and 16 add to make 25. So 9 add 16 equals 25. So they satisfy the criteria, which is 2 square numbers which add to give another square number. So the answer for this question is 9 and 16. Okay, question 5. Right, this question is to explain why 20 isn't a square number. Okay, well, 4 squared equals 16 and 5 squared equals 25. Okay, so therefore the square root of 20 does not have an integer, which is an integer which means positive whole number, an integer root. Okay, so what that means is the phrase integer root means that it doesn't have a square root that is a whole number. In fact, I could just write it like that as well. That would be perfectly acceptable. Doesn't have a square root which is a whole number. Okay, so therefore we don't class it as being a square number because all of the square numbers have to have square roots which are whole numbers. Right, question 6 is write down 5 cube numbers. Okay, so in GCSE Maths we're required to know the first 5 cube numbers, and they are 1, which is the result of 1 cubed, 8, which is the result of 8 cubed, 27, which is the result of 3 cubed, 64, which is the result of 4 cubed even. 64 is the result of 4 cubed, and 125, which is the result of 5 cubed. Now, bonus point here, they've only asked for 5, but there is a 6th cube number that we need to know, and that is 1000. Okay, so you could have put down any of these 5 numbers, but yes, these the cube numbers that we need to know for GCSE Maths. You actually could have written down any cube numbers if you wanted, but you're just not expected to know them off by heart. Okay, right. Question 7. Explain why 64 is a cube number. 64 is a cube number because the cube root of 64 equals 4. So 4 cubed equals 64. Okay, therefore it is a cube number. Okay, the cube numbers are the results of cubing the positive integers. Okay, so 4 cubed equals 64, and that's fine. You don't need any more information for that. Right, question 8. What is the first 4-digit cube number? So that is going to be 1000, and that is the result of 10 cubed. I'll just put that there. Okay, so the first 4-digit number is 1000, and it's the result of 10 cubed. Right, question 9. Write down 2 cube numbers which add together to make a square number. Interesting, right. So let's try this. So we've got 1, 8. Oh, we've done it already. 1 add 8 equals 9. So 1 and 8 are 2 cube numbers which add to make a square number. With these questions, just never be overwhelmed. Just start writing down your square numbers or your cube numbers and just see how things go. Okay, right. Question 10. Write down the largest odd number, the largest odd cube number under 100. Okay, so I'm just going to write down the cube numbers and see if I can spot it from there. So let's say we have got 1, 8, 27, 64, 125. So the largest odd cube number is this one here. It's our 27. So I can write that down. And so I'm going to put that as our answer, 27. Right, so that was the 10 practice questions done. Now we're going to look at the 10 scenario questions. Okay, so let's go along here and see what we've got. So question 1 says, a square window has an area of 49 centimeters squared. What is the length of one side? So the length of one side, well, 49 is a square number, and it's made by doing 7 times 7, okay? 7 times 7 makes 49, so if it's 49 centimeters squared, the length is going to be 7 centimeters, okay? Now, these, I'm not using my calculator here because this is our testing our knowledge on square and cube numbers, okay? So these are the ones that you're meant to know, okay? Right, so, but also what we could have done, we could have written this just to point out, we could have just said the square root of 49 equals 7 as well. It's all the same thing. Right, so question 2. A crate holds 27 identical cube boxes arranged in a cube. How many boxes are along one edge? Okay, so this is just asking us how many, if we wanted to make a cube, a 27 cube, well, how would we do that? So basically we're just looking for the cube root of 27, and so that would equal 3 boxes along one edge. And if you think about that, it's kind of like we start with 3 boxes this way. Here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then when we go back, we make a cube like this. Oh, here we go. So we could see that in each layer of the cube, there's going to be 9 boxes, and then there's going to be that 3 times. This is actually, with my drawing, it's going to be easier to go down. Here we go. I'll go down like this. There we go. There we are. So we see, if you imagine this cube, it's 3 layers of 9, and that which would make the 27. So if we had 27 cube boxes, there would be 3 boxes along one edge. Okay, I feel like that's a really bad diagram. Oh well, there we go. Let's move on. Question 3 says, a square field covers 144 meters squared. How long is one side? Okay, here we go. So we've got our square, it's 144 meters squared. So basically we're looking for the number that multiplies by itself in order to find the edge. So we're looking for the square root of 144. Now the square root of 144 is one that we need to know because it's 12, okay? So the answer to this is 12 meters. Right, question 4. A box is a cube with a volume of 125 centimeters cubed. How long is one edge? So again, it's a cube this time, so we need the cube root. So the cube root of 125 is 5, okay? And it's centimeters cubed, so it'll be 5 centimeters. Here we go. And again, if you think about a volume is length times width times height. So a volume of a cube is length times width times height, and that is what we're doing here. Okay, right, let's have a look at question 5. Question 5 says, a rug is 8 meters on each side. What is its area in square meters? Okay, so here we go. This time we've got 8. So the area of the square with the side length 8 is 8 squared, and that is 64 meters squared. Okay, right, last 5 for this round. Okay, so here we go. We've got scenario questions here. Question 6. A cube has a volume of 64 centimeters cubed. How long is one edge? Well, we know that the cube root of 64 equals 4 centimeters. So therefore, each edge is 4 centimeters. Right, question 7. A pile of 1,000 identical small cubes is arranged to form a larger cube. How many small cubes are along one edge? Okay, again, this is a cube and we want the edge. Okay, so we're looking for the cube root of 1,000, and the cube root of 1,000 is 10 cubes. There we go, in this case. Question 8. A storage box is shaped like a cube. Each edge measures 5 centimeters. What is the volume of the box? Okay, so that is going to be 5 cubed. So we're looking for the 5th cube number, and that is, well, it's the result of 5 times 5 times 5, and that equals 125 centimeters cubed. So there we go. 125 is a cube number for 5 cubed. Right, question 9. A cube has a volume of 216. James says the side length must be 72 because you divide the volume by 3. Is James correct? Explain your answer. No, he is not wrong. He is not wrong. He is not correct. He is wrong, because to find the side length of a cube, you do not divide it by 3. You cube root the volume. No, he's wrong. He should cube root the volume. He should cube root the volume, not divide by 3. Okay, right, question 10. We've got here, Susie has 2 cubes. One has side length 2 centimeters and the other has a side length of 4 centimeters. Susie thinks that because 4 centimeters is twice as long as 2 centimeters, the larger cube will have twice the volume of the smaller cube. Is Susie correct? Show your working. Okay, right, well, let's try it. So 2 cubed is equal to 8 centimeters cubed. 4 cubed, that's right, 4 cubed there. 4 cubed equals 64 centimeters cubed. Is Susie correct? No, she is wrong. The volume is more than twice. Okay, and there we go. Those have been the questions and the answers for all the stuff on square and cube numbers. Okay, so if you need any more support on this, you can watch the tutorial over on crackmaths.co.uk. Otherwise, there are plenty of other things for you to be getting on with as you work towards your GCSE. Okay, great. Thank you very much.